so I've got my cousin in camp, and he has texted over 100 people now. He's mostly texted
Since you guys have been here?
Since yesterday at noon. But I'll tell you what he's been doing. He's been on Tinder, and he's matching with, I swear, dude, he's matching with chicks on Tinder, and they're like, he's asking them right off the bat, do you have hunting property? That's how he's starting the conversation.
Hold on, let me get on my Tinder real quick.
I'm serious. And so, like, he's got one on the hook right now. She's like, my brother owns property down by whatever the big lake is over here. And he's like looking it all up. And he's like, this looks decent. I'm like, dude, just tell her, give her your number. I'm like, let's go.
Do you imagine doing that as like me? We're like, hey, tell my wife, I'm going to go on Tinder strictly for permission. If they want to go anything further, I'll just pass them off to Caleb.
Yeah. yeah, just do a little swap right there at the end.
You're now listening to the Mobile Venatic podcast. That's a giant.
This is the Mobile Venatic podcast. We are back here at it again. Today we've basically got the Whitetail DNA crew with us. We are at Fuzzy Camp 2.0, and season technically opened up 13 minutes ago.
Heck yeah, not Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, you said you get a whole bunch of messages about that?
Yeah, it's weird. If you Google search North Dakota deer season, some website, something like, you know how like now Google like AIs at the top?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, just says September 1st to January 7th, which is the dates last year.
Okay.
So if you got to go onto the North Dakota Game and Fish website, you see it's 8:30 or whatever. And I had a bunch of people DMing me about that, and I had to be like, it's not Sunday, it's Friday.
That
at
seems
noon.
like it happens in every state, though. Like somebody just is guessing what it is
Right.
without looking at the new rule book. I don't know. What this podcast is basically going to be expectations. We're going to just be filming here or recording for the next 20-ish, 30 minutes about what's been happening so far, scouting, and then come back to you guys in a couple of days with hopefully we killed some monster type kind of story or a spike, because I swear to God, it is on the table for me right now.
You got to one-up yourself from last year.
No, I want to go from shooting my biggest buck to shooting my smallest buck.
Hey,
I mean,
why not?
Why not? Yeah. I've never shot a spike from Michigan. Isn't that like a
Or
thing
a
I'm supposed to-
Yeah, don't people
or
shoot
a
a
velvet
velvet
spike.
spike?
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Don't Michigan people shoot like a dozen spikes before they upgrade to like a 2.5-year-old?
Yeah, at least. Yeah. Oh, why don't you guys introduce yourself anyways, so that everybody knows whose voice is whose. So start with you right next to me.
Yeah, I am Alex Comstock, owner of Whitetail DNA, and
The man.
Oh, I don't know about that. Ready to shoot some bucks, hopefully. I guess film someone shoot a buck.
Yeah, that buck looks nice.
Yeah, I am Luke Ellefson. I am a team member on Whitetail DNA, and I'm also here and ready to shoot some big bucks.
I'm also here.
It reminded me of what's that movie where it's like, I'm so and so, and I also like to party.
I'm Caleb Comstock. I'm from Nebraska, actually, and this is my 4th year coming up. It's actually my first year hunting. I've filmed the last 3 years, so excited
Oh
to
yeah,
have a
because
tag
you
in my
usually
hand.
filming Sam, weren't you?
Yep.
And how long have you actually been hunting here now? Because you started in college, right?
First year we hunted here was 2015.
Okay.
And the first buck we killed was a 180, and it's been downhill ever since.
Jeez. Holy crap.
Hey, it went up here a little bit.
Was that
with you.
T-Ted that killed that
That
one?
was T-Ted, about 3 miles from where we're at right now,
Oh, really?
where Aaron got permission on that property by happenstance.
No way, really?
Yeah,
Oh, good for him.
because it was back then we killed him on. It was on the edge of a plot land and not posted, and that wasn't over. It was just over to some like field of nothing on the plot land.
Oh, nice.
And Aaron went in and it's posted now.
Yeah.
10 years later.
Yeah.
Door knock, got permission. He's like, look at this place I got. And I was like, go to that tree. I bet there's still a ladder stand there. He sent me a picture of the ladder stand. It's still there. Tree's dead as can be, but
Yeah, his little camera guy, Adrian's, I guess, being a baller and calling so many people this time.
yeah,
for
just
him.
a bulldog.
Like Michael, so I've got my cousin in camp, and he has texted over 100 people now. He's mostly texted
Since you guys
people.
have been here,
Since yesterday at noon.
any responses?
Lots of responses. We almost had an okay, like, go for it on 2,000 acres, but then the guy was kind of like, well, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, I've told him, like, just give me his number and I'll call him and tell him, hey, we'll come meet you. It's still kind of up in the air right now.
That'd
so
be sweet.
hopefully he's
How
kind of
far
open
away?
it, like 30 minutes south.
Oh, nice.
That would be ideal. And it's really good looking stuff. But I'll tell you what else he's been doing. He's been on Tinder, and he's matching with, I swear, dude, he's matching with chicks on Tinder, and they're like, he's asking them right off the bat, do you have hunting property? That's how he's starting the conversation.
Hold on, let me get on my Tinder real quick.
I'm serious. And so, like, he's got one on the hook right now. She's like, my brother owns property down by whatever the big lake is over here, and he's like looking it all up, and he's like, "This looks decent." I'm like, "Dude, just tell her, give her your number." I'm like, "Let's go."
Do you imagine doing that as like me? We're like, hey, tell my wife I'm gonna go on Tinder strictly for permission. If they want to go anything further, I'll just pass them off to Caleb.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, just do a little swap right there at the end.
That's what my buddy would do every time he'd match with someone. First thing he'd say, "You got turkeys on your ground?"
Mm-hmm. It's smart.
Hey.
It's funny because he's never been in a relationship, but he has Tinder, and he said he started using it back in Michigan the same way. He said if you matched with a chick, he'd be like, "Do you have any relatives that have hunting property available?"
I mean, honestly, it's priorities in life, right?
Yeah.
They say yes.
He's
you can
playing
proceed.
chess.
How
I've been
old
over
is
here-
your cousin even?
22.
I haven't even seen the dude since we've been here.
I should just text him and tell him to come down right now. But all right, back on track. We've been here. At least I've been here for a full day and a partial up till this point. All scouting, running around, checking tons of properties. A lot of the properties that we run across are posted, which you have permission on. It sounds like all the ones that we're like looking at, and they're like, "Oh dang, it's posted." But we've still come across some pretty good sign on some of the private open to public. It's all does we've glassed, so I'm not like super like jacked thinking that we're gonna get something the first night. But I think we're in deer at least.
Yeah.
On public open to private or private open to public. But I mean, you're all pretty close to camp for
Yep.
the spots,
Within half hour,
and you got toads.
a couple decent ones. It was pretty slow off the bat because we came out here about 2 weeks ago on the dot.
Yeah.
And we ran cams, we dropped some bait on some private, and we really only had one shooter showing up.
Was it the one you sent me? That 8 or
The big 9.
Yeah.
And he's only showed up twice.
Oh, really?
So he's only been there twice. Both times have been in daylight, which is sweet. And then I got out here. Today is Friday. Today's Friday. I got out here Tuesday and pretty much went all day Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, moving cams, glassing, and thankfully now we've got a handful of bucks showing up in daylight on camera. And then I glassed up a couple decent bucks last night. That it's a spot. So this farmer, long story short, this farmer has given us permission on about 8, 9, 10 different properties.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one spot that Garrett's the only one permission on because Garrett's kind of one who's facilitated this whole relationship.
Really?
And so he's like, this is my best spot. And Garrett can hunt it, and that's it. He just doesn't want more people in there. And so Garrett couldn't get out here till today. So I went and glassed that last night and glassed up a handful of bucks with one probably being a booner.
I was gonna say that one was. I mean, both of them. The one clip you sent us, I'd shoot both of them.
Yeah. Well, I was asking Caleb. I showed Caleb the video of just the smaller one before showing him the bigger one. I was like, "How big do you think this buck is?" And he's like, 140s. I'm like, if this is 140s, how big is this other buck? Because he makes them look small.
yeah.
So we're gonna try and go hunt. I'm gonna film Garrett tonight and see if we can ground pound.
I can't remember. Was that a mainframe 10?
He's a 10, but on the one side he's got some crap going on. I think he's technically like a 12 or 13, but he's essentially a mainframe 10.
So Garrett will roll in, possibly kill from the ground, and be gone before we even get him on a podcast to say how cool it
Probably.
was.
Yeah. If he kills, he's out of here tomorrow.
Oh my god!
At sunrise.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So are you confident in that spot then? What do you think?
So my only concern is getting in there clean. We have a good wind. It just all depends on how far in this buck these deer are bedded. If they're bedded up along the creek on this little oxbow, I think we'll be just fine. If we can get set up clean, I mean, it's going to be a little western on the ground on the edge of some scrub brush and a bean field. We're going to bring in a little turkey blind, like a half blind.
Oh yeah, is that what you were sitting in earlier? Okay.
Yeah. And so we're going to just try and set up on, and if they did what they did yesterday, this buck walked out into this bean field, kind of moseyed around the edge, kind of fed out in the beans. And at this point would be where Garrett would shoot. Because then he turned and walked straight to, like, he stepped where we're going to be sitting tonight.
Oh.
So it's,
Oh.
there's really no other way to
They're
do
gonna
it.
be right on you.
There's no other way to do it unless we want to try to just sit 50 yards back in the bean field.
Yeah.
But then at that point, I don't know. I just think we got to be tucked up in a little bit of brush.
I think that
I
plan's
would
better.
agree with that. Yeah.
So we'll see. It's going to be, if it works, it will be the craziest hunt I've probably ever been on.
I hope it works so badly.
Mine's about the same
Same thing.
situation.
Ground and pound too.
Like up until last week, I was planning to go shoot a 70-incher with a recurve. 'Cause that's like all I was on camera. And then Alex found a new spot, and last 2 nights probably 40s.
That was a 10 too, was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, like 140-inch 10
He's been in the same spot 2 nights in a row.
Nice.
But self film on the ground, basically in
that'll be
grass.
tough, dude.
It's gonna be so tough.
Are you gonna run it in manual focus the whole time? Or are you
I
gonna
always run manual.
do you? Okay.
Especially with the grass, dude. It's gonna be so
That's-
hard to
that's
go
what would be
auto.
tough.
So
But once you've gotten all your footage and everything, literally what I would do is take that camera, point it where you think because there's this obvious trail coming out of the
Coming out.
cattails.
Okay.
Have it set not too zoomed in because you can always crop in,
in.
and then just have the focus set. So all you do is click record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like a high F
Yeah.
number or whatever, like
Yeah.
an F8 or F9
Yeah.
or something.
So I mean, give it a
So,
shot.
I mean, I've pulled it off turkey hunting, self filming without a blinds on a bow. So
So what's a 140-inch mature 10-pointer?
I mean, it's the same thing.
you get it. It's in the
2-year-old Tom.
Yeah, they're like the same.
It's the same thing.
What about you, Luke? Are you confident in anything, or are you just?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be sitting a spot that Alex set up a few days ago, a new spot he found, and right off the bat too, I don't know, 140-inch 10-pointer.
With
Dang,
a
all
sweet
these 10
flyer
points.
pointer.
Dude,
Oh, it's that one you showed me.
You
Yeah,
got
that
a-
one is sweet.
You got a long walk though.
Yeah,
We're calling this the handicap blind.
yeah.
Oh, that's the one that's really close. That's right. I forgot about that.
If he wanted to, he could park on the road and walk about 35 yards into the blind.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Overdoing it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You're handicapped, sort of, right now. You broke your
Yeah,
leg.
Broke my leg back in June, so
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be out here and try hunting. so.
I kind of feel bad that one I didn't know to begin with, and then when I hugged you when I got here, I about probably took you out. Didn't I?
Yeah, you're all good.
You're taking the bike in too, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would.
No.
The bike for 30 yards.
Are you gonna film it too, self film or
Yeah,
not?
actually, I'm gonna have Parker filming me.
Oh,
so
Parker
he-
is okay.
Yeah, our buddy Parker's out here. He's graciously giving up a night of hunting to film Luke.
Oh,
So
that's so kind of you.
Yeah. He didn't have to, but
no.
No.
Well, I was gonna film Luke was the original plan.
Oh,
So I'm trying to get. Not that I don't want to hunt, I do, but
right.
I want to film a sweet hunt opening night and like have a buck go down, just use the new camera and
Oh,
all that
yeah.
good stuff. And Luke's buck has been there, other than last night. He's been there every night in daylight, so he's bound to show back up tonight.
Yeah, and he might have been there, just not in camera. view. Yeah.
And but then when we filmed the Booner last night, I'm like, man, what do
Okay,
you-
so what do you think of the odds? Do you think we'll have $3 down tonight, or what? If you,
I told Caleb earlier today, I'm gonna put it at a 33% chance a buck goes down tonight.
I think that's fair.
I think that's pretty.
Out of those $3 right there,
I'm just saying in camp.
Yeah.
I think
because is Aaron on anything now or no?
he hasn't found any bucks, but he's gotten some permission spots. He's got options.
Okay.
I think. I mean, it's all every year. You're like, oh man, look at all these deer. We're gonna shoot so many bucks, and
Oh yeah.
you really got to have this like realism set in. But we do have. I mean, if we would have been hunting these 3 spots last night, we would have had 2 opportunities out of the 3
Yeah.
spots. So I mean,
In that spot I'm going to, that camera's been there 2 nights, and he's been on the camera both nights.
right.
So
I feel like at least one thing's going down, which would be
It is
33%
an
chance,
opportunity because even once you get the opportunity, a lot has to happen from drawing the bow back to
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
deer going down. But
as the great Sol Holt said, cautiously optimistic.
mhm.
I love that. I really do. There is more people in camp too right now. Like we do have Aaron from Next Step Outdoors. He's here, and then Behind the Blinds coming later. And like you guys said, your guys' friend Parker and Dylan Rowe is here too. I don't know. It's a handful of people. Should be
I
fun.
thought this year was gonna be like a small camp.
Yeah. Is it more?
I think it might be.
Oh, it's definitely more. Because I didn't hunt last
I
year.
didn't. So when Sam wasn't gonna be able to come because Sam just had a kid, then
Yeah.
Caleb's like he thought he was gonna be hunting a buck in Nebraska. I didn't think he was gonna come. I thought it was gonna be just me and Luke, and then I didn't know if Garrett was gonna be able to come because he's got a new baby.
Oh yeah.
But then Garrett's coming, Lopi's gonna be able to come, and then obviously like, you were able to come with
Yeah.
your cousin.
Yep.
Then Aaron was able to make it with his cameraman and a friend, and it's just like all of a sudden Behind the Blind was
Boom.
like, "We'll come." Yeah. It was just like, all right.
Oh, we got like 12 people with
Yeah.
tags.
That's all right. I mean, a lot of ground.
And I did a buddy of mine that actually gave Aaron permission on a property today. He's out of town this weekend, but he said we can have a full run to his garage with he's got a loader. We're gonna hang a deer up. He's got water and everything.
Sick. so we don't have to try and cut it up in the
I
ground.
literally was
No.
like, I may take you up on this. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. We got all the Havilon knives we could ever ask for now.
I got a couple.
I've got 2. You've got one of my old ones.
Still, I probably put it in my truck where I put it to like send it back to you, and it's still in that spinning
That's
pot
too
in my
funny,
truck. I've
dude.
never taken it out.
That's too funny. I figured Sam kept it all since he had the bus,
Right.
but that's no worries.
Sam likes sending people out with gifts, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know whose this was. Rob's. Take it.
Yeah.
Well, even your chair, I was like, God dang, I forgot to bring your chair back. And then I was like, lo and behold, I brought it back. I forgot.
Yeah. Pull up in your lot here and you're like, look at this. I'm like, sweet. Haven't seen this in last North Dakota. I don't know. My plan, I guess, from what we've got is just we're gonna take one of those strategies of glassing them before we make a move, because with all the does we were seeing coming out of the public, get high, just see where they're coming from. I don't even know what the field is on the other side. Like we're gonna do.
How long? Sorry to cut you off.
You're fine.
How long do you have out here?
4 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, leaving Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have
So
enough time.
yeah. I'm not too stressed out, and I am serious. I will shoot a spike.
Hey, it's better than
Tonight,
a tag.
opening night
I would not.
at 20
First
yards
year.
broadside. What are you shooting?
Any 2.5-year-old, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, I am a Michigan boy through and through, so my standards are a little lower.
I mean, it does up the odds, right?
Yeah.
Like,
right. Yeah.
and if you're seeing that many deer, you'd think there's got to be a buck in there.
Yeah. Weston's like, shoot your next biggest one. I'm like, I just want to see one right now, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
And
know?
it's not like the drive was 5 hours for you.
That's true too. Yeah, 15.5 hours.
Yeah,
Whew, just a haul.
that's a haul.
Yeah.
That's
like-
a haul to be going home with
Yeah.
a tag.
I drove
still.
out here, and then between all my driving this week doing stuff, like the one day I drove 400 miles in a day
Yeah.
and all that, it still probably doesn't add up to the amount of miles you drove to get out here.
It was 930
Jeez.
miles, I think it was, and then I probably put on 400 or 500 miles since I've been here now too. It's all right though. So what you got to do, right? Just
That-
grind it out. Got to love the grind.
That Chevy.
Yeah, that Chevy rusted out, but she's eating.
She's kicking.
That's all that matters.
All right, we're about 30 minutes, I think. Is there anything else you guys want to add before we skip to a couple days from now?
I'm going to say when we record the next time, $2 will be down.
Oh, I like that.
I'm gonna
Generally
say
speaking.
my first non-resident deer is gonna be on the ground, and so is this guy.
And Garrett's. I hope so. I really do. And I hope I have a spike. All right.
Absolutely.
We'll see you guys in like seconds, but it'll be days for us. It has been seconds for you. It has been a few days for us. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you might be able to see the antlers sticking behind me. That's Michael's buck. And he doesn't want to be on the podcast. I'm calling you out right now. But we predicted, or you predicted, I don't remember who, like you figured there was a 33% chance there'd be one buck on the ground opening night.
Mm-hmm.
And then you figured there'd be like 4 tags filled in camp, if I remember right.
I mean, if I guessed 4, then I nailed it.
Yeah.
I think I said a few.
A few, yeah, just to play it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so opening night, me and Michael. So, yes, lots of success in the camp all the way around. Opening night, me and Michael decided to go way up north from where we're at here camping. And we split up. We were both going to do observation sits, which he really was planning on doing an observation sit. You just correct me if I'm wrong, even though you're all the way over there, okay? I went and tried to do an observation sit and walk through just some of the crappiest, thickest stuff I've ever walked through in my life. And so I decided to just glass on the backside of the fields he was hunting. And I texted him to say that I was leaving and I was going to go check another spot, but I'll be back at dark. And I got a text a phone call from me 30 seconds later. I just shot one, he goes, and he thought it was pretty good. Deflected off of something and hit high, but it was still dead within 70 yards. So he really had me nervous until he texted me back or called me back and said he found him. But big thank you to a couple of the kids from Wisconsin that helped us drag that deer out of there, and got to share some stories with them, some contact information. And that's pretty much all it's been for me and Michael. I had a chance at a 4-point that I should have taken. 2x2. I'm sorry.
2x2.
2x2 makes them sound bigger.
Some deep forks.
Yes, just deep. He was pushing around a fawn. I mean, it was rut, it was ready to go. But no, we've had success. This will be my last night here. And then Alex is the only one left in camp right now from his crew because you guys have been hammering them. Really.
Everyone killed bucks and ditched me. So.
Yeah.
I think Garrett's T-Ted. The couple guys didn't kill,
guys,
but pretty
yeah.
much, I mean, yeah, we had a wild second night of season.
It was the wild second night of season.
I mean, we killed as a team 3 bucks. I mean, Parker, we're counting Parker's.
Yeah, we
and
count Parker. Yeah, okay.
killed 3 bucks with, I want to say we were just a couple. I mean, honestly, like T-Ted was about 2 sticks. If he would have been 2 sticks higher, he would have killed a buck.
Yep.
Garrett, if that buck was about 10 yards further
Yeah.
would have killed the buck. And Caleb, if a buck would have came about 10 yards further, would have killed the buck. So we were like yards and feet away from killing 6 bucks in one night.
Plus, the camping neighbors had 2 dead bucks here, too.
Yeah.
There would have been 8 dead bucks in camp.
Jeez. It was pretty nuts. I mean, to kill 3 bucks in a night, was pretty cool.
Yeah, who killed first? Lopi, I think, texted
Lopi,
like early.
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
His deer were on camera in there in the morning at 8 a.m. and then again at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So we were like, they're bedding close.
They're
So
close.
as long as you can get in without bumping them, you're going to have a shot.
Right.
He got in at like 5:30 and killed at 6.
That's a good day. That was his first day because he wasn't here for opening night, right? Or did he show up late for opening night?
He hunted opening night.
Yeah. Okay. So he sat twice, killed.
He sat for a total of 4 hours.
Wow.
And then he made a frontal shot, which was, I mean, I've never done, and I don't know if I have confidence to do it, but whatever he did was right. He only went 50 yards.
Yeah, he smoked that thing.
So that was pretty sweet. And then Luke killed at about 8.
Yep.
And that was off the biggest killable buck we had, the handicap spot.
The handicap 50 yards off the road.
Yeah, I think we talked about that in the first part of the podcast.
First half, I think so. Yeah, forgive us if we are leaving out details. I've already forgot half of what we said earlier.
Essentially, Luke was setting up in a tree. So it was a spot that I set up for him on purpose. It was 40 yards off a road, hidden by standing cornfield. You couldn't see this little grassy swell from the road. I set up a ground blind for him opening night. He had the buck in there, couldn't get a shot because the grass was too tall. And then he made the executive decision, even though he's kind of a gimp, with he got up in a little thing of scrub brush.
Mm-hmm.
He got up like 2 sticks high, like literally. I mean, you could touch the platform from the ground.
That's all you need sometimes.
And I told him to pop. I thought I should take the blind down, and he goes, "I left it for a decoy."
That's
so that buck came in staring at the blind. Meanwhile, he's over in this tree, not where the blind was, like 10 yards away, and was able to shoot that buck.
That's pretty smart.
That buck's probably pushing on 150 and had a sweet ass flyer point coming off his G2.
Like when I first saw the pictures, I couldn't tell what the heck with it. Like if it was, but it's almost like a flyer that turns into a drop.
Yeah, it's
like
super
J-hooks
cool.
on it.
It's
Yeah,
super
really
cool.
neat.
So he was happy to say the least.
Yeah.
So that was his first North Dakota buck.
Oh, really?
So he sent 2 arrows at deer.
Uh-huh.
And Luke's a killer.
Oh, yeah.
And last year in the rut, I was filming him, and he shot a deer in like the elbow, and
Yeah.
like it would have been a hard shot, but the deer's leg was back, and
Yep.
it just like you got an inch of penetration, and deer was fine. And then he released an arrow during the rut the year before, which sailed over a deer's back.
Oh, really? I didn't know he did that.
So
one. I remember the one from last year. I mean, it looked like the first time I looked at it, it was like, man, he smoked that thing.
yeah,
Then I realized you'd said something afterwards, like hit the elbow. I'm like, holy
in real
crap.
time, I thought he hard shot it.
Yeah, I bet.
And then we watched the footage back, and he's like, "How was it? How was it?" And I looked at the footage, and I'm like, "He's alive." Your arrow went like half an inch. No, but so he killed, and that was pretty sweet. And then so Lopi kills, he kills. We're all texting in the group. I mean, the buck that
text messages blowing up.
the buck that Garrett almost killed was probably a 180.
Yeah.
I mean, at 5 steps, and then Luke just throws in there. Parker shot one too, and then I was like, "Holy!"
See, I missed that in the group chat, like
No.
that Parker even shot one, and then Weston was texting in our work group chat saying that Parker shot one. I'm like, what's happening right here? I don't remember Parker shooting one. And then he shows back up at camp with the dead buck. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, hell yeah.
Yeah, we get the text. I was filming Caleb, and we get a text that Parker shot one too. And Caleb just looks at me and goes, "I don't know if I want to shoot a buck anymore." Because me and Caleb went down, recovered Luke's pictures, all
Yeah.
that good stuff. Then we went over to Parker's, tracked that, found it. By the time we got back to camp, everything, like I was laying my head on the pillow at 4 a.m.
And you had fire pictures too. They were beautiful pictures.
Thank you.
I haven't even looked through the whole album, but
Yeah.
just a few that you've posted. It's like really nice stuff.
Yeah, it turned out we definitely took our time with them, it's nice when you can do that because it got down in the 40s that night.
Mhm.
So I mean, it was nice and cool. Which this
chill.
time of year, we lucked out on the weather. At least so
'cause
far.
it's supposed to warm back up tomorrow and then get another cold front Thursday.
It's supposed to hit about 90, but then back down to 60.
Shoot.
So
I wonder if that's going to hit Montana because that'd be nice since I'll be heading there Sunday.
It would be.
Michael, do you want to add anything into the end of this before we you shoot big bucks? Is that what you said?
I think they call him the silent killer.
The silent killer? Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's been an awesome trip, and so this is the second time that I've been able to come out here with you guys, and I so much gratitude for last year, and even so much gratitude for this year, honestly. And if you don't tell Alex thank you by the time we leave here, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
Not
nothing
bringing
to
it
thank
back.
me for.
Well, it's the invite, and it's the camaraderie, and it's the experience of just having a true deer camp. I mean, that's what we talked about last year. And shoot, I barely even knew you when I came last year.
Yeah.
Now I'm Snapchatting you going through Duluth to say hi or whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Duluth to not say hi.
To not, well, you know.
I think I got those snaps like 3 hours after you sent them.
Yeah, because I was like, I'll just start snapping him and see where he's at, and then I might have been already out of Minnesota by that point.
Yeah, I was like, you got a snap of you on the bridge. I'm like, what's in here? You're 5 minutes from my house.
Is that how
Like,
close I was?
10, but yeah.
But no, this whole experience of just hanging out with like-minded individuals, and now the Bessers are here too. You know, at least
Yeah.
you got them to hang out with for the rest of the week. And Aaron, you know, it's if you don't have, if for those of you that's listening, if you have the opportunity to make something with friends or to create new friends and make some type of experience like that, I highly recommend it. I'm not saying you have to, but just to be able to share memories and stories with each other is pretty special.
It's my favorite part.
It is really sweet.
Like the only bummer about an early season camp like this is when we're all out hunting. We get back, it's late.
Mm.
You know, you don't really have a ton of time with everyone. Like me and Aaron were just saying, we talk all the time. And
Yeah.
he's like, we talk less when we're hunting together. We don't even see each other.
Yeah.
You know, unless now it'll kind of quiet down a little bit and we'll all have more time to hang out with these guys during the day.
Sure.
But in that very beginning, you're doing so much. You're trying to go run cameras, trying to go get permission. So during the day, it's not like there's downtime. You're just chilling where you would have.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a bummer, but it's still cool because you still, you know, we got bucks in camp.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to see
Oh
it.
yeah, everybody gets happy for each other, and just I've put more miles on my truck in North Dakota than I did driving to North Dakota.
That's great.
I have almost 1,100 miles from being in North Dakota.
I mean, I can believe it. I put on 400 in a day, so I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, a few key things there, like camaraderie and having the experience with friends. And then if you're going to a new place, you're going to burn rubber off of tires and soles off of shoes.
Yep.
And, you know, try and get as much permission as you can. And in a state like this, getting permission is pretty useful and pretty vital, especially your guys'
Yeah.
pieces. You know,
Yep.
those are really good pieces.
I mean, we killed all of our bucks off private permission
Yeah.
that we've secured, which is pretty sweet.
Yep. So you're going to have to compete with people for that too. But hey, you know what? Sometimes there is, I mean, like I've really hit pretty much all publicly posted private or whatever. Am I saying that right?
Oh.
Plot land?
Private land open to sports.
That's it. That's what I've basically been keying on this whole time, which is what Michael shot of. So if anybody is looking to try and do something new, just kind of start digging into it for next year, you know, and
There's a
and
lot of options. There's the private land open to sportsmen.
There
There's
is.
WMAs. There's wildlife production areas which
Yeah.
you can hunt.
Yep.
Which, you know, I mean, there's a whole bunch of public land out here.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It is nice. And in any state, generally speaking, there's quite a bit of opportunity for you. So make some friends, get out there, make the move, all that fun stuff. Got anything else?
No, shoot straight when you're hunting.
That's right. Don't shake too bad.
Right.
Till next time, folks. Thanks for listening. Make the move today. I don't know how to end this. I love you.
Peace.
Peace. See ya.